Before creating my project, I want to create my calendar. I believe it is more appropriate to define the calendar before setting up the project. It makes things easier for us. Because if I plan to use same calendar throughout, and I won't be creating separate calendars for activities or resources, predefining the calendar will make it much easier when defining each new activity. For this, I go to the Enterprise menu and click on the calendars. On the screen that appears, I can see the calendars used in the existing projects. For example, the currently selected one is the default 7x24, which is a calendar where work is assumed to be done in 2 shifts and 7 days a week. Who uses these calendars? If I check and click on the Used By button, I will see which projects are using this calendar and which resources are using this calendar. Now I'm going to create a new calendar. I click on the Add button. By the way, we see global resource and project segments on the top. If a company or organization has a standard working plan, it can be defined as a global calendar. If I make any changes to a global calendar, those changes are automatically reflected in all projects using that calendar. A resource calendar is a calendar assigned to a specific resource, and project calendars, on the other hand, are used for a specific project. We can define special working hours and non-working days for that project. Now I'm going to create my own calendar. To create a new calendar, it asks me to select an existing calendar as a template. I will use 7-day workweek calendar because in my construction site, work is done in 7 days a week. Clicked it. Now it's asking me to name the new calendar. I will write ABC to this calendar and click on Modify button. Let's take a look. When I select all the days, I see work hours day is 8. That means 8 hours of work per day. This doesn't change which day I go. What I'm going to do if I want to make a day as a non-work day or want to change the working hours, I will give an example using a random week to help you understand the logic of how the holidays are integrated into this calendar. For example, let's say I want to mark this day as a holiday. To do that, I will either double click on the day or click on the non-work button on the right. To undo this, I can either double click it again or select work on the right. Let's say this week is a holiday until Saturday. And I'd like to show you one more different thing. Let's go to your regular day and change the total working hours from 8 to 4. When we do this, we notice that the day is marked in white. The day is now recorded as an exception day in the calendar. So what if I want to set our daily working hours 10 instead of 8 and also make Sundays half days? Do I have to manually adjust every day in the calendar one by one? No. For this, I click on the Workweek button. Then I enter 10 for every day until Saturday and 5 for Sunday. Then I click OK and take a look at the calendar. As we can see, all the changes have been applied except this day. Now let's click on the Detail Work Hours button on the top and go back to the Workweek section. In this area, we can see which hours of the day are covered by our daily working time. As you can see in this working schedule, there is no lunch break. If I want, I can add a break between 12 and 1 and finish the work at 6 p.m. I need to do this for each day individually. When I click OK, this work schedule will also be integrated into this calendar. If we look at the time period section, we can also see how many total hours are worked weekly, monthly, and yearly based on the daily working hours. That's all I have to explain about the calendar. Now let's close the screen. Let's assign this calendar to our ABC Residences projects. To do this, I go to the project and check the defaults tab and click on three dots next to calendar and select ABC. In this way, I have assigned the calendar to my project. From now on, every activity I will create will be added to the project using this calendar.